Are you using your hose and sprayer and you think it might not be working right? Well, let's look at it.
So a couple quick tips and tricks for keeping those hose and sprayers working. So we have a lot of our viewers and followers use the hose and sprayer with our Beat Your Neighbor Fertilizer, but there's a couple things you should know to keep them working well for you all summer long. And if you have the ortho hose and sprayer especially, so something that I've noticed on this one, and we do like this one, but there's one spot on here that I really want you to check first. So if you have any issues where you don't think that it's drying up the fertilizer, here's the first thing to check. There is a little metal screen on this tube at the end of this tube. So this little metal screen. So they have a metal weight, and that's nice. It keeps this hose down in the solution, but it's made out of metal. And metal and fertilizer don't really like each other, so it immediately rusts, and that rust can flake off. And we've seen that this little screen here gets plugged up. So if you're having any issues with your ortho hose end sprayer, check that first. You can just take like a maybe an old toothbrush or something and just clean that off and make sure that it's nice and clear. Also make sure that this tube is clear and that there's no clogs in here. And that way, when you have the solution in here, take a clear glass and you can see here if it's drying up, and then just check on the solution to make sure. It should be just a tinge of blue when it's coming out if you have this mixed correctly. And we have a lot of videos on how to use these. So we're not going to get into that today, but just really a couple tips of keeping those screens clean. Now with that one,
this one has on the, so I took the hose connector off. It has this little tiny screen that looks like something that you'd have in your sink. And that is just tucked in there. Again, keeping it clean. So when it's in the hot days of it and you maybe have left something in the bottom of your hose and sprayer, it's good to flush it out because that algae will kind of collect and it'll plug up those areas.
Yep, and also this one has the little screen on the tip. It's a very small one. I like this this chameleon sprayer. This is nice that this tube pulls right off and you can clean this. Again, there's a little screen on the tip of here that can get clogged up very easily. So make sure that that is nice and clear, that there's also nothing in this tube. That's the nice part about this one, is that comes off, where the ortho, that hose is, I would say, permanently connected on here. So it's not as easy. But this, we have a lot of customers have been using this too.
And we have on our Sharky's Greenhouse YouTube channel why we like these specific hose end sprayers. It's because of the dial, and we explain that on there. So just go on there. You'll see how to use them, the ease of it. And when you're doing it and you're looking at how much fertilizer to use in it, because we go over that also, remember, our advice for that is based on our fertilizer.
Yeah. So, and we had gotten tagged in some, like some Facebook groups and where they're talking about the hose end sprayers, but remember our videos are geared specifically to our Beat Your Neighbor Fertilizer, which is really concentrated. So you have to remember that this is not comparing apples to apples when it comes to measurements. If you're somebody who's using like Jax or Proven Winners or a different fertilizer, those are different measurements than our Beat Your Neighbor Fertilizer. Again, because ours is really concentrated. So remember that it's not the same. And so when we're talking about Beat Your Neighbor Fertilizer.
So where can you find the fertilizer? You can go on the beatyourneighbor.com. We have a retailer locator map. You can press on that, see who's in your area. And if there's not somebody in your area, we can ship it to 48 states.
Yep, absolutely.